Hello friends, it's a pleasure to meet you again. Now there has been so many questions that I keep getting from many of you about what are the various modes for investments and what are the safest modes of investment in the given scenario. I have tried to give my advice on few investments. Again, you can make due diligence before you go and invest. This is only my small advice. But careful due diligence is required at your end before you make the investment. So you can invest in fixed deposit or real estate. You have got gold as an option. You have got PPF or NPS as an option. You have got bonds, government bonds. You have got mutual funds. You have got stocks. So many options that you have got. Let's quickly run through and see what are the various options, what are the positives and negatives for each and every options very, very quickly. The first and the foremost investment option that someone has got is bank fixed deposit. The safest option that you have got. So let's quickly understand the pros and cons here. Risk free, or we'll say very, very minimum risk that you have got. Liquidity is another. Liquidity you have got. That means whenever you want, you can just close. Let's say, there is a medical emergency, you can easily close this. So liquidity is another option. But the cons, that is the downside, is the rate of interest is very low, which is around 5 to 5.5%. It's what you have got as the rate of interest for the fixed deposit. My personal recommendation here would be the out of your total funds that you have got that you can invest, you should have around 10% of your investment in your fixed deposit. Around 10%, somewhere maximum of 10% you can have in a fixed deposit. So let's say I got just for example, you got a lakh of rupees which you can be investing. You can have like 10,000 rupees in your fixed deposit. It's risk free. You can easily close. Rate of interest is very, very minimal. The next one that you have got as an investment options, real estate. Under real estate, it usually grows. Real estate usually grows. But the downside here would be liquidity. Why? You may not be able to sell. You may not be able to sell whenever you want. So what is the issue you have got in real estate is the liquidity. You may not be able to find a seller immediately in case you want to dispose of the investment. Again, the rate is lower. Why do I say the rate is lower? Assuming you invest like 50 lakhs in a house, maximum that you would be getting is like, 10,000 to 15,000 rupees as your rent. So even if it is 15,000 as the rent, you will end up having only 1,80,000 rupees as your return on a 50 lakh. But the advantage that you have got is, in case you have taken a loan, interest on that loan is allowed as deduction. The interest that you have got is allowed as deduction while you are computing your income tax. The principal will also be allowed as deduction under section 80C. Interest is allowed under section 24 of income tax, and this is also allowed. My understanding of this real estate is you should have one house, either for your stay or for rental. I personally don't prefer real estate because the return is low and it is also not, it's also having some kind of liquidity issue. So real estate is fine, but my advice would be not more than one house. The next option is gold. The sovereign gold bonds that you have got is a good option, where apart from the price apart from the price increase in the loan, the government also pays you interest at the rate of 5%. That is 2.5% every half year. But here, you need to hold it for at least 5 years. You need to hold it at least for a period of 5 years. The next one that you need to do is, the next downside is, you may not have a proper buyer for this. Again, liquidity could be an issue here. Liquidity could be an issue here. The advantage is, if you hold it for 8 years, at the end of 8 years when you sell, it is tax free. I'll not say sell, if you redeem, if it is redeemed at the end of 8 years, it is tax free. You don't need to pay any tax on it. Whatever is the purchase price and the selling price, assuming you purchased for like say 5,000 rupees and you are going to sell it for, let's say, 7,000 rupees or 8,000 rupees per bond, that 3,000 will straight away be tax free. So apart from the price increase, you also get interest, but you need to hold it at least for a period of 5 years. Therefore, that's a liquidity issue that you might have. The next one that we need to do, the type of investment that we have got is PPF or NPS. PPF or NPS. The greatest advantage of these is, it is allowed us deduction under Chapter 6A for your income tax. Under income tax, it is allowed. That's the greatest advantage that you have got for NPS and PPF. The current rate of interest that you have got for PPF is around 7.1%. PPF, when you are withdrawing after 15 years, it is again exempt. So I would say PPF definitely recommended for the tax purpose and also a better rate of interest. Again, liquidity could be an issue here. The next one that we need to, the next type of investment that we have got is bonds. Government bonds, risk-free, while PPF, if at all I have to go back to that PPF, that is also risk-free. That is also risk-free. It's a pro, not a con. It's a risk-free. The rate of return would be like 7.5% to 8%. So you will have government bonds, I'm saying. There are also bonds that are issued by private sector companies. Go to CRISIL rating. Anything, my advice would be, anything if it is A+, you can definitely invest in that. The CRISIL rating tells you about what are the scenarios where the company has. What are the scenarios? The company would be able to meet its financial commitments. That means the possibility of this getting not paid is very, very remote. So if it is a government bond, no problem at all, absolutely no problem at all. If it is a private bonds, the rate of interest are much higher, could be like 9-10%. And please choose it very carefully. Anything A+ is recommended. The next type of option would be mutual funds. While I will do a separate video on mutual funds, what are the various types of mutual funds, and also separate video on NPS, which will talk about what are the various schemes that are available under NPS, what you should do. Now, mutual fund will typically give you a return around 12 to 14%, or 12 to 13% could be. You should be very careful. There are equity funds where you should be investing. Debt funds don't give you too much of returns. So equity funds, in case you don't have time to invest, select index funds. Index funds like either Nifty index or Sensex. So whatever the Nifty gives, almost the same thing would be given by these type of funds. The highest return today, which gives a stock. Very highly risky, at the same time, higher the risk, higher would be the return. So you would earn somewhere between 15 to 17% on an average. But you have to be very, very careful while you are investing. Do lots and lots of study before you go for investment. So these are the few things that I have got. This is personally my advice. you can definitely do your own due diligence before you make an investment. In case you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and also share the video amongst your friends. We'll catch up soon for some other interesting topic. Thank you.